We are the children of the motherland, the one who stayed when you ventured across the Mediterranean through the Arabic Gulf and other ways to populate the planet. But what comes around goes around. And here, the mother, the Queen Mother, Queen Africa, Mama Africa, is hosting you, is welcoming you, and her home is your home, because this is where everything started. Lucien and I have a very common word that we tend to use, which is called ancient future. Ancient future is the capacity to remember who we are. Because when you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going. But when you remember who you are, and when we talk about ancient future, it's the exercise to remember who we truly are, our essence, our true nature. And you know the word remember is remember. That's what we're doing here today. We are remembering into one, into the oneness, into unity. So I've been asked to tell a story. So where I come from, the ones who tell the stories are called griot. West Africa, the Mandinka. And it is through our stories that binds our culture. From kings to slaves, but all humans. So, future. Let's fast forward. If somebody can open some windows or the doors before I melt of heat.
Climate change is still a reality. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, let's get real, guys. Future is cool, but you don't know AC there. I thought there were AC in the future, bro. Right? So, yeah. I remember the future. So this is how it started. I remember the future. Just a small tribute to Lucien. I remember the future started here in Davos 6 years ago, 2019. And I was there, funny enough. Another crazy outfit, I guess, you know. And it was really about where do we want to go as a species. And the best way to predict the future is to invent it. Because when you speak, it manifests. Never forget the principle of spelling words. It's like you cast a spell from spirit to matter. And at the beginning was the verb. So let's create. Let's invent. Are you ready for the journey? Yes. Let's go. I remember the future. I remember when it all started. I remember 2025. This year. I remember Davos. On 21st of January, 22nd of January, 23rd, 24th. It was a very unique moment in time. It was a moment rare where all the 7 planets aligned. And when 7 planets align, you can recreate your reality. So that's what we did that night in Davos at Seehof. Many people were there from all parts of the world, all 5 continents. And we made a vow of creating that future. Little did we know that that future would materialize. We had this kind of faith, some doubts, but hope. And remember that hope is hearing the sound of the sirens. You see, serendipity, guys. Hope is hearing the sound of tomorrow. But faith is dancing to the sound of tomorrow. So we built faith. In 2025, there was something called money. Paper money. And at the time, some people were so poor, all they had was money. And everything was revolving into this piece of paper. And we realized that year that we lost the sense of value and values. And it's a year where we opened our eyes, we opened our heart, and went back to what truly mattered. Love, friendship, and the Mother Nature and the abundance that she gave us. And as we had this aha moment, we took into technology, blockchain, AI, to help us put value back where it mattered. We started valuing our data, our identity, our culture. We started valuing the elements that Mother Nature gave, whether it was gold, the forest, the air we breathe, the biodiversity that we had. And as we started putting a value on it, tokenize it, like some would say, back then, they had this thing called blockchain, a very archaic stuff, but that was working back then. And as it progressed, as we evolved, we started exchanging values instead of value. And those values were shared with love and with understanding that we were shifting as a collective and as a society from a system based on scarcity and fear to a system acknowledging abundance and love. Because it's through the love of the Mother Earth that we have everything in abundance, and we forgot it. We were made to believe that we don't have enough. But by restoring value and values outside of a piece of paper, we recovered what makes us human. We understood the meaning of Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Ubuntu is that very most ancient word for humanity. Ubuntu means I am because we are. Ubuntu was the acknowledgement that I do not exist in isolation, that the collective supersedes the individual, that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Because crisis started hitting. Cataclysm. They used to call that climate change. Indeed, the climate was changing. But as the climate started changing, we started to realize how fragile we were. And we came down off our pedestal of super intelligent species to realize that we're nothing, absolutely nothing, next to the power of Mother Nature. And we understood. And we understood. Sorry, thank you. Another music, let's go. And we understood that Ubuntu was a declaration of global interdependence. And we started exchanging water, air, protecting biodiversity. And everything that the paper had in value was redistributed in everything that was around us. It was a shift. And today, when I remember that time, it was because a collective got together in the House of Africa, in Africa House, to acknowledge, to realize, to embrace our vulnerability, but also our power. Our vulnerability as individuals, but our power as a collective. And how strong we are when we come as one. The same way as the team of Ubuntu came as one, brought the Gaians. The same way as Africa House hosted B1, Ubuntu, United Planet, because we won. And that oneness is what helped us overcome the challenge, because with AI, everything became instant. The things you need, the people you need to meet. And with blockchain, everything you thought had no value had value for someone. It had become an era of abundance, an era where humanity transcended third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness.